Let's talk with a true legend. We're excited about this. For those of y'all that had a chance to get to your device, get there, ESPNSA.com, because when you tune it in, you will see DeMarcus Ware, the pride of Auburn High, and about to get a knock on the door. A year and a couple of days away from getting a knock on the door in a hotel there in Los Angeles. DeMarcus Ware joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Sir, thank you for joining us today. DeMarcus, we're awfully honored to have you.
Man, Jason and Rob, y'all are hometown guys here from Texas. And I said, you know what? They're in San Antonio. I love San Antonio down there, especially when we went down there for training camp with the Cowboys. So thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it. Man, future Hall of Famer, Cowboy legend joining us here. And you talk about coming here to training camp in the Alamo Dome. And as much as San Antonio misses having the Cowboys come to town for training camp, we get to go to Oxnard every year to cover Cowboys training camp. Nice. And as I love the Cowboys coming to San Antonio, you can't beat what was in Oxnard, right?
You can't, man. And it was so crazy. I made a joke with some of the guys about this station. It was 94.5. 94 is the number that I wore. And I never got an interview with you guys. I was like, man, I wanted to make that joke of, I see why you guys chose 94 and why you guys want to do the interview with me. But Oxnard is great. Oxnard is fun out there, and it's amazing.
He is DeMarcus Ware joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Busy man. The letters I want you to remember are D2W. We're going to talk about Driven to Win and how you can get yourself. And I got a particular vested interest in this. We're going to get to this in just a second. But when you got DeMarcus Ware on, you got to talk football. And when you're talking football and down in San Antonio, we got to talk Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly.
All right, DeMarcus, from the eyes of a legend. As we sit today in 2021, a brand new year, and looking forward to where we are, give us your broad scope sense of where the Dallas Cowboys sit today. We'll zero in on the individual issues in a bit.
I think right now is it echoing a little bit, but I just see that it was a growing process. You get to the championship, right? I'm actually deep in the playoffs, and then it started going down from there, right? But now I feel like they went through the pandemic. They went through the havoc already. Guys getting hurt, losing, Dak, certain guys not playing right. Now I think this is the new rebuilding phase that Jerry Jones can get, bringing in some defensive guys that are going to make an impact with a good 4-3 defensive coach that can bring in stuff with the defensive line, right? But then the offense getting all, 4 or 5 offensive linemen back. They can actually protect the quarterback now, and then we can run the football. So I think they're in a good position. Getting everybody back healthy was the main thing. And I think they're going to get the train rolling after that.
DeMarcus, when you look at last year's Cowboys defense, Jaylon Smith took a lot of heat from the media and from the fans.
I can't hear you.
I think we've lost.
Try it again, Jason.
Can you hear us now, DeMarcus?
I can hear you, but I just try to talk over it.
When you look at Jaylon Smith, was the criticism he was getting from fans and media, was it warranted in your eyes?
I think that is one of those things where he's going from a 4-3 defense to a 3-4 defense. Totally different type of player, totally different type of mentality you have to have. And now they're actually teaching him how to play the pass rush position a little bit, play a little bit different against the guards in the inside, because when you're playing a 3-4, those inside linebackers are big because they have to take on those guards, and you're going to expect now a guy that's been playing a 4-3 defense to do the same thing and be as effective. Yes, he can be, but it takes a little bit of time to get used to that. So I think that criticism that should have been thrown out of the door. He's doing what he can do, but it's a growing process.
He is DeMarcus Ware, the legend, the Dallas Cowboy, Denver Bronco. We'll talk about that orange in a bit, but we'll stay with the blue for just a bit, as it's always a pleasure to talk with a legend. DeMarcus, as you look at what the Cowboys are, and we look at now the news of the day is, when are they going to sign Dak Prescott? In your mind, how did we get here, and what's the best way out of it, especially with the backdrop of what's going on in Houston with the Texans and Deshaun Watson backing out and showing the control that superstars now have in the NFL?
Man, you know what? You have an opportunity to bring in a quarterback that's really homegrown already here in Houston that can come in here and play. But then you had Dak, he was on a roll, right? Got hurt, and you haven't given him a contract in 2 or 3 years. Now it's like one of those things where hopefully Dak comes back and he's in perfect health and he's able to get that position. But as a business owner, you got to say, this is a growing time for my team. I have to make sure I bring Dak back, and hopefully he's the guy that we need, right? But then on the flip side, if he's not, I got to go and get a quarterback that is capable of doing what it needs to do, because we're in a rebuilding process. And you know what, Dak, I want you to be part of it too, which still could give him enough time to get healthy and do what he needs to do. But that is a hard decision.
When you think about the hard decision, I mean, for Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones, Jerry keeps saying that he loves him, keeps saying he's the quarterback of the future. You hear it from Jerry, you hear it from Steven. They did offer him a contract. They offered him over $100 million guaranteed, and Dak did turn it down. And, there's the years aspect that apparently is with that. You were able to successfully negotiate a major contract with Jerry Jones, and you were able to negotiate your way out of Dallas to go to Denver at the end, and you got that Super Bowl ring. Tell us, what is it like to negotiate with Jerry Jones on a contract the size that Dak is trying to get done?
It's the most challenging thing that any player can have to do, because he's a businessman when it comes to money, investments, how much the teams work, and where you actually land in the NFL, because I feel like he ran the NFL, right? I just, from all the owners, it's just the way that I felt. So, after that first time, in negotiating with him, you got to sort of talk to him man to man, say, hey, here's where, I am. This is how I performed. And if you're performing at that point to where you're the best guy at what you do, you get paid, So, I just think that it's one of those things where, you see when he left the game, there was a lot of leadership that the team didn't have and what he brought to the team. And I think now it's like we have to have that guy back. There's Deshaun Watson out there, but how's he going to gel with the team? There's a lot of things that, go along with that. And that's where captains come in. Like, I was a captain for 12 years in the NFL and with Dallas and in Denver. And that's why I've sort of like transitioned into, the fitness space, because now I can affect people, not just from the stadium, but also through fitness outside of the stadium and getting them to live healthier lives, right? And that's just right here is an opportunity for me after 3 back surgeries, a neck surgery. That's the reason why I retired, guys. All in one season. And I broke my arm all in one season, recovered. And I said, I got to be able to give that fountain of youth to you guys, right? I got to bring it down there to San Antonio with D2W, with Driven to Win. I'm going to get you guys on that app. I just want you to download it. The only thing I want for you to do is download the app. It's free. We've downloaded a lot of crazy things for free, right? So just download the Driven to Win app, and then just give it a chance. And I promise you, you'll get what you need.
DeMarcus Ware, the Sun Belt Player of the Year in 2003. I'm looking at all the accolades. I wanted to pull one out you might not hear very often. He was, in fact, the Sun Belt Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in 2003, joining us. Now, DeMarcus, in the grand scheme of things, very rarely can I fall into the very same category as DeMarcus Ware. But in this one, I actually do. As a guy who was beat up and wore out and lots of injuries from lots of things outside of sports and sports,
right,
trying to get back into shape in this day and age is not easy. I mean, just the diet part of it, because I'm sitting next to my refrigerator 10 hours a day. That's there. And then working out, I can't go to a gym. So what do? You have arrived with the right thing at the right time. And especially with a guy like me who's kind of beat up and coming from the place where you came from when you started this, it's a great way to get yourself in shape, because you don't want to be one of those 40% of people out there.
The thing is, and there's 40% of people are obese, right? And I sit right here and say, I just need to affect one person at a time. And just like you said, you're working hard. You can't go to a gym. And so that's why I created bodyweight programs to just get you off the couch, get you moving so you can at least stay healthy, right? But then I got, in gym programs in there. If you want to lift weights, great. I got that in there for you too. But it also learns with you. It's using augmented reality. So when you pop that thing up right in front of you, it's me there, and you actually can get in there with that figure, augmented reality figure of me, and I'm doing the exercises correctly for you, right? But then, like, if you put how much weight you are, how much weight you're lifting, it learns with you. So it has machine learning in there too. So it's a machine aspect of that. Listen, I'm gonna get you on there. I see you smiling down there. I'm gonna get you on there. I'm gonna get that cake out of your hand, and I'm gonna get you on there to download this app. I got you.
I'm looking at it, and the augmented DeMarcus Ware looks so much better than me. Can we augment me too?
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Well, and you look at it. One of the things I appreciate going through your app when I downloaded it today, and it just hit the app stores. So, I mean, people are starting to download it. They're learning about it. I'm going through it. The home workouts I do like. Now, I'm looking at this and thinking, okay, an NFL player in his workout. I remember when Dat Win was working with us here at ESPN San Antonio, and as beat up as Dat Win was, DeMarcus, and you know this, he would go work out well, let's just say his warm-up was more than my whole workout could ever be, right? I would diet, and so I was a little worried about this one, but you talk about the different body weights, the things you could do, because while we're all home because of Corona, we remember the freshman 15 that girls used to talk about. I think we all have the COVID-19 pounds now.
Right.
When you look at that, the body weight stuff, very interesting, because this is something I can do. I can't do your workout, DeMarcus Ware, but I can do some of these body weight workouts.
And that's why I have something in there for everybody. You got me doing exercises that everybody can do, but also doing some things in there to make sure you stay motivated on how to build the best you, right? This thing, usually when you get a workout, 30 days, you lose 10, then you plateau. This actually grows with you, but also is me taking you along the way. And one thing I want people to understand is like, I was actually there to help build this app. It wasn't like, okay, well, then DeMarcus got a company to do it. All of the content I film myself here, right? Got a company for that. I mean, the hard work and all the voiceovers for everything, that's actually me. I'm not paying nobody to do this. It's me doing it myself, putting that work in just like I played, because I want it to be authentic. I want it to be me. And people say, you know what? He put the time in. At least I can download it for free and see what we got.
DeMarcus, do you yell at me like I'm like my old coaches? Do you get old school legit on us?
You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna yell. But if you turn that phone up to 100, it might sound like it. It might sound like I'm yelling if you turn the phone up to 100. At 80, maybe not. But just crank the volume up and it'll feel just the same.
Well, I'm not sure I wanted it anyway. I like the kind of days. DeMarcus Ware, the
Rob's
legend,
get yelled at. That's what I mean, he played at Texas Tech in basketball back in the 80s. He likes getting yelled at. He needs a coach.
He likes
Let's be honest.
Yeah, he wants that motivator.
That's how I got where I am today.
Yeah, you want that motivator. So guess what? You know what? The guy upstairs, Jason, has downloaded it, but you have not downloaded it yet. I know down at the bottom down there, you have not downloaded it yet, Rob. Come on now. You need to download this.
I was convinced. Let me tell you, I got a ski trip in about 6 weeks, and you and me are going to get that again.
Yeah. Let's get it. Me and you. Just go to the App Store. B2W, just go to the App Store. It'll be right there. It's one of the top new apps right now in the Apple App Store, which is really cool to have this app out for a week. And then they're saying, hey, you're one of the top new apps out there in the App Store, and there's billions of apps. That's a big thing for me. That's like, man, that's cool. That's like winning the Super Bowl in the software space over there. That's a whole different beast.
Yeah. Well, as Cowboy fans, we don't know what it's like for a team to win the Super Bowl. It's been a long time. You actually know what it's like to win a Super Bowl. You got that ring when you went to Denver. Super Bowl a week from Sunday. And I'm looking at, there's two rules, right? You never bet against Tom Brady. But how do you stop Patrick Mahomes as a defensive legend going in? If you were playing defense right now for the Buccaneers, what would be the one thing you could do to try to slow down, maybe stop Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City?
You know what? I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have what it needs. You got Sue in the middle. You got Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett on the outside. And one thing that we did actually with Shaq and also with Vaughn, they let me rush. It was only one rusher that can get to the quarterback. Everybody else was the spy guy, knowing that Patrick Mahomes can move around. So you get one guy that can get there. Everybody else, the three-man rush, you let them hold him down and make him throw the football and make him make those mistakes, because they have the corners that can play man-to-man on Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, right? But then again, the main thing is being able to get pressure, and they can do that. So, with me, if you're going to ask me a question on who I think is going to win the Super Bowl, I would say Tampa Bay because Fisher's out. You got Pierre-Paul on number 2 left tackle. So I'm thinking that he's going to bring the pressure, and they're not going to be able to withstand that. Patrick Mahomes, he can move around though, so which is a good thing.
It certainly is. And this is a good thing too. DeMarcus Ware. It's D2W Fitness by DeMarcus Ware. Go to your iOS, go to your app store, get it downloaded. He's going to take you there, and he's seriously in it. He put it together. You want to train like a champ, work out with the champ. You get to DeMarcus Ware joining us here on the Blitz. We want to thank you for stopping by, my friend. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. We look forward to seeing you in person real soon.
All right, thank you so much.
DeMarcus Ware right here on ESPN San Antonio.